Hello, Diaz. Good morning. How are you doing today? Hey guys, what's shaking? Cool. Look, another silhouetted morning. That means we have bright sunshine outside, so that's got to be a nice thing. How are you doing this morning? What's shaking? How's your Monday? First thing this morning? Or maybe not. I got up and watered the grass this morning and had a little coffee outside. Did all sorts of good, wonderful things. Got a busy day ahead, but I'm looking forward to a little bit of yoga. So if you're just joining in, roll out a mat. Get ready for a little yin-yang yoga, which I really am loving these classes. We basically just take things real slow and easy the whole time, nice and gentle. It's not officially a restorative class. We do get a little bit of movement in. Sometimes we make our way all the way up to standing, and sometimes we don't. So the goal is for the first half of the class to be a little bit more movement, and then we slow things down and get into some of those longer holds in more of that either restorative or yin style of practice. So I have more of a yin background than a restorative background. And the difference is restorative is all about getting comfy, getting soft into the body, letting go of tension, focusing in on the mind, which also works a little bit with yin, which is getting into the mind side of things, but it's not necessarily about getting comfy. It's about, yin is more so about finding that edge where dealing with the mind, you actually need to fidget and adjust. Are you simply just uncomfortable, or is it painful? And always kind of having that debate, pushing and pulling, finding that line, easing off, and trying to embrace complete stillness. So whereas those restorative classes, you move around and you adjust kind of as your body settles. In yin, it's fighting the need to move unless you actually really need to. So just, I don't know, I think it's really interesting. There's a lot of science behind yin and the benefits, and just the testimonials that people have of the benefits of yin, which I think is just fascinating. Because it's so counterintuitive, and maybe that's why it works. And I love it because with our busy, crazy society, we have a hard time slowing down, or we feel guilt and shame when we're not crazy busy, like it's a badge of honor. But our body really needs it. Like, we were designed to take some time to rest, to take some time to let the body heal itself, and to not be on that crazy fast pace all the time. We're also designed for fun, which is why I like bringing a little bit of kookiness into my yoga classes. You gotta try things, you gotta play around a little bit, gotta try out new poses or different ways to get into them. So with that in mind, let's get into our practice. Let's get into a position where you can start to connect with the breath. So whether you want to start seated, whether you want to be down on your mat, on a block, or whatever kind of prop you might have going on, or if you want to be laying down, or if you just want to sit on a stool or the edge of a chair, whatever it is, doesn't really matter. I have no expectations of how you start your class off, as long as you can sense into the body and start to connect in with the breath. That's all that's required for the beginnings of this practice. So getting into that, wherever you are, however you are, let's roll the shoulders back and down. Creates a little space for the breath and relaxes the body. Lots of times as we get stressed, as our cortisol levels go up, those shoulders start to shrug up to those ears, and you're holding all that tension. So roll the shoulders back and down. Really start to press them back, start to press them down, and then let the shoulders relax. So connect in with the breath. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, let it out. Trying to breathe in through the nose and out through either the nose or the mouth. I love to just kind of focus on the nose for breathing. For people to hear me, I often breathe out through the mouth. Big exhale, sigh it out. Often feels good too. So maybe you take a couple just through the nose. Maybe you switch between nose and the mouth, sighing it out, whatever it is. And start to feel the movement of that breath throughout the body. How does it feel to focus on the breath, to start to elongate and deepen that breath, not just breathing into the top part of the lungs, not just chest breathing? Can you get into diaphragmatic breathing? When you start to engage your diaphragm and breathing just into the abdomen. So that's going to be our breath work this morning, is diaphragmatic breath or big belly breathing, where we actually just don't even focus on the chest at all. Okay, you can come. The dog is staring at me like, can I come in? Come here. Of course. You gonna say hi to everyone? Thanks. I love you too. So as you start to take a breath, maybe even put a hand on your heart. Maybe put a hand right where your diaphragm would be, either just above the belly button or somewhere on the stomach area. And see if, as you breathe, you can just move the hand that's on your abdomen. So start to breathe in, feel the hand rise up, feel all of that space that's created, and exhale. Feel everything coming back together, that nice big squeeze. So connecting in, take a few of those, really work with it. If you want a little extra challenge with this breath, if you're used to breathing just into the abdomen, see if you can also not just breathe into the top of the front line of the body, but can you breathe into the sidelines of the body as well? So maybe move your hand a little more off to the side, or start to breathe into that low back area, starting to use the whole roundness, front, sides, back of the body and of the breath. So as we sink in here a little bit deeper, working on some breath techniques, and that's where you're going to really work on that, is breathing into the abdomen and seeing if you can not just feel the front of the body, but feel the entirety of that space. Takes a little bit of focus to really bring that inhale all the way down. Being just a few more. At any point, you can return to a normal rate of breathing or more normal breath. If this breath isn't serving you, if you're finding it stressing you out, don't let it stress you out. It's just a breathing technique, but I promise I'm not grading you on it. This is one of the healthiest forms of breath, is that deep breath. At least according to my chiropractor, who I bring almost all my yoga questions to. Beautiful. Excellent. From here, let's scan into the body, maybe setting an intention for our time together this morning and for a little practice. What can we be doing? What intent do we have, maybe? What's our dedication, if you want to dedicate your practice to someone or something? Sealing it in with one or two more big, giant breaths. And then let's wake up the body. Wiggling into fingers and toes. Maybe rolling wrists and ankles. Let it feel good. Let it feel nice. And if you're laying down, maybe you want to make your way up to seated nice and slowly. And getting there. Joining us in a seated position. You don't have to sit cross-legged. You can sit with a leg out. We might get there. Just kind of starting to warm up the body, so even in you're seated, maybe just simply start to rock a little bit from side to side, engaging in a little bit of motion. And if things like vertigo and dizziness aren't a thing in your life, maybe you want to even try closing your eyes. That'll help you sense into the body, seeing kind of where you are in space and time. So as you're rocking from side to side, let's transition this into some circles. So just circling around. I like having my hands on my knees. It's an extra little point of reference for where I am. And also just kind of as I lean back, kind of gives me something to stabilize onto. Going around, making big giant circles Warms up all of the muscles in that low back and the hips. Try not to be rounding too much through the back. Let's stop, go the other way. Round and round we go. And it feels good. Just taking a couple of circles. And playing around with eyes open, eyes closed. Maybe you bring your hands on into your hips. Just changing up that point of reference. Just, it's kind of neat. Excellent. All right, let's come back, find our stillness, find our center. Bring the hands to heart center. Pressing in just gently towards the hands. Notice like, are you just pressing into the palms, into the bottoms of the hands? And can you start to press into the tops of the palms where the fingers start, and then into the fingers themselves? Maybe you want to bring the fingers farther apart. Maybe you want to squeeze those fingers closer together. And find a nice neutral. Start to raise the elbows or pressing the hands a little bit farther down, making that nice flat line across the forearms. Roll those shoulders back and down. Gentle tuck of the chin. So just sitting nice and strong here. This is a great position for meditation, for gratitude, for connecting in with the body. Having those hands at heart center, it's just a great focal point. Take a giant inhale. Exhale, let it out. And now with the inhale, start to move the arms, reaching up. Exhale, hands draw down towards center. So you can make these really giant and big, taking the back bend, taking a little bow, or you can keep them a little bit smaller, just moving the arms, letting it feel really good. Excellent. Warm it up. A couple more. Start to really feel into that movement, into that motion. Beautiful. Excellent. So good. Let's take one more. Reach it all the way up and hold. Interlace the thumbs. Have the palms facing forward. Roll those shoulders back and down. Reach up nice and tall. And feel all of that length. Maybe give those fingers a little wiggle. Little jazz hands. Excellent. Exhale over towards the left. Reach it over. Let it feel really good. Feel that side bend start to open up. Press into the legs. Keep that hip pushing down. And let's come all the way up. Reach it up and over towards the opposite side. Going down towards the right. Feel that opening through the sides. Push into the legs. Find that stability. Let's come all the way up. Hands to heart. Beautiful. Let's place the left hand on the heart. Right hand opens up. So we're going to come into a bit of more breath work here. So use the exhale to switch the hands and open up. And so start to come into a little bit of that pattern. If you want more, you can actually add a little thump onto it. And if you want more, you can start to add a nice little twist in towards it. So start moving those arms, start connecting in with the breath. Swaying from side to side. Come on, don't leave me hanging. Join in. Get going with that breath. Get going with the arms. You can spin as much as you want, whatever feels good on your spine. Let this movement be 100% for you. Excellent. Maybe come into those thumps. Trying to lengthen through the spine and stay nice and tall, and try to bring those arms nice and wide as you extend them out. We're going to go for a whole minute here. So I'm going to focus in on my breathing, warming up through those arms. You'll start to feel some heat coming in. Try not to hit the walls behind me. Excellent. Adding that little thump might actually even release any buildup that's in the lungs. So it's a great thing to do if you've got allergies, if you've got a little seasonal cold or flu. Excellent. Couple more here. And keep it going. Let it be really good. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Give those arms a little shake. Let's switch the feet coming into the opposite side. Great little warm-ups there. All right, roll those shoulders back and down. Sweep those arms up nice and tall. Take that big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time. Inhale, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, bring the hands out to a T, and let's twist over towards the left and drop the hands down, pressing in. Let's get nice and tall. Take a big inhale and exhale to twist a little deeper, pressing into maybe those fingers to help rotate around. You can adjust and move the hands wherever you need to. I like the knee as an anchor. That feels really good. And keeping those arms and shoulders nice and relaxed. Just enough tension to twist you around. Take an inhale, get a little taller. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Beautiful. Let's release, coming back towards center. Reach those arms up, reach up nice and tall. Take a nice big good morning stretch. Exhale, hands to that T. And then start to twist towards the right. Feeling that rain down into the legs. Exhale. And drop the hands down. Inhale, get nice and tall. Press in and lengthen through that spine. And then exhale, press into those hands, starting to twist a little deeper. Beautiful. Feeling that nice connection all the way through. Maybe you rotate a little more around. Maybe that head looks over that back shoulder. Beautiful. Let's exhale and release. Find your way back towards center. I've got the sun on me now. This feels nice and warm. I'm liking this. I'm going to take the sweater off to better connect in here. Beautiful. Let's make our way into all fours. Let's warm up through the hips a little bit. So, uncross legs. However you want to get into your tabletop position. Maybe you roll right on over. Maybe you swing around. Whatever it is, start to press into hands, into knees. Maybe toes can be curled or flat. Whatever feels better for you. Take that nice big inhale. Start to look up. Let the belly drop down. Exhale, tuck the chin, round through the spine. Inhales, look up. So moving through this nice little cat-cow breath. Exhales to round through the spine, pressing into that nice angry cat, pushing that spine upwards towards the sky. Taking those inhales, dropping the belly down. Feeling that nice back bend that happens. Press into the hands here. Really press that tailbone down. Really press that belly button down towards the ground. Moving through. Let it feel really good. So nice. Just a few more. Feeling that spine in. Feels creaky today. A little bit of stiffness. Not moving as fluidly as I usually do today. Find your stillness. Beautiful. So nice. So good. Let's send our right toes back, touching them down in towards the ground, squaring those hips off real nice. And walk left fingertips forward, tenting them on the ground. And pressing into right hand, left knee. Pull that core in, take that quick little exhale. That feeling nice and strong and stabilized. And let's lift the foot. Roll that right hip down. If you want more, you can lift that left hand, challenging a little bounce. Find that stability, adding a little bit of strength in. Let it feel really great in this wonderful tiger position. I'm going to flex that right foot, extending through the heel, lifting that foot up a little more. The chin is nice and tucked, really reaching through those left fingertips. Excellent, so strong here. I'm going to bring elbow towards knee if you have that left hand down. And just bring knee towards nose and reach out. We'll take two more of these. Excellent, and reach. Last one. Beautiful. Drop the head, drop the knee. Take that fun little sway from side to side. Feel nice and gentle on the body. Just lengthening through that spine. Excellent. Find your stillness. Left toes go back, touch down onto the mat. Right fingertips walk forward, still touching down. And tuck the chin, lengthen through the spine. Nice and solid through that left hand. Quick exhale breath. Core is nice and engaged. And float the foot up. Float the hand up. Beautiful. Keep that nice chin tucked. Feel that lengthen. Some nice natural traction for the spine. Encourages this little jelly disc to suck back in. That actually makes you a little bit taller. Nice and keep reaching. Let's take 3 little taps, elbow towards knee. Reach it out, or knee towards nose, however If you want to move, beautiful. Reach it out nice and strong. Drop the hand, drop the knee. Beautiful sway, side to side. So nice, so good. Excellent. And coming into your stillness, let's just transition right into a nice low lunge position. So coming up onto your knees, bring that left foot forward, bringing your hands onto your hips. If you need to pad up that right knee, take a little moment, maybe fold your mat over, maybe grab a little cushion or a towel, whatever extra support that you need there. And if you want to make this easier, keep the knee and the heel closer together. And if you're looking for some more stretch, that's when you either add more space between the two and start to push those hips forward. So trying to keep left knee over the ankle will start to open up more through that right quad as you push the hip forward. So the more the hip comes forward off that back knee, the more stretch there'll be through that quad. Keep those shoulders rolled back. Hands can be on the hips, on that left knee. Keep rolling left hip back. Keep pushing that right hip forward. And feel that nice adjustment. Excellent. Sweep the hands up, reaching up nice and tall. And then exhale, bow down, reach back. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, eyebrows over toes. Reach those hands back. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhales down. Let's do one more. Reach it up nice and tall. Exhale down. Reach those hands back like you're flying. Beautiful. Drop those hands down either onto the ground or forearms onto that knee. Just getting a little more quad stretch. Maybe you're feeling that on the left hamstring. Maybe you feel that through the glutes. Keep pressing those hips forward. Let it feel nice. Let it feel good. Beautiful. Here's one of my favorites. Excellent. Let's add a little bit of strength into this. So either pressing hands in towards the ground or onto that leg. Let's tuck those back toes under. And pressing all the way up, lifting that back knee. Maybe it hops in a little bit closer. Start to bring the body up. Drop that right heel down. Point both toes towards the long edge of the mat. Bring the hands onto the hips. Squeeze those elbows back behind you. Lift the heart. Find all that openness through the shoulders. Excellent. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, keeping the hands on the hips to hinge at the hips with a nice flat back. And start to lower down, protecting that low back. So nice and flat, feel that nice pull on the hamstrings. You can bring the hands down the legs, or maybe you're reaching them down towards the ground or to a block, or to a little stool. If you don't have any of those, you can use the body to prop yourself up. So using the legs, keep pressing into those feet though. So imagine two lines of direction happening here. I'm pressing into the outside line of the legs, so my pinky toe is even engaged. I can feel all of like the ball of my foot and all my toes nice and active. And then I'm zipping up the inside line of my legs, so pulling in those inner thighs, finding that nice strength there. So my legs are super duper active. And then the front of my body, the torso of my body is just hanging down. You can drop that head, give it a nice shake no. Letting it feel really good. Excellent. If the head comes all the way down onto the ground really easily, maybe you want to heel toe those feet in a little bit closer. That'll add some more height and make it so that you need to fold a little bit more forward. And if you're really desperate to try to get your head closer to the ground, like if you're close and not quite there, then try heel toeing the feet a little bit farther apart. Lift through those sits bones. Really imagine that hinge from the hips. And maybe you'll get a little closer. Who knows? It's not about getting your head down. It's about getting a nice stretch through the legs. And the head is below the heart. It's a beautiful recovery pose. All right, let's add a little twisting into this. And so making this accessible wherever you're at. Let's bend through the left knee, rest the elbow on it, and reach right hand up. So still trying to stack shoulders over shoulders, trying to get that right shoulder stacking over the left. You can bend more into that leg if you want. If that's really quite easy for you, maybe you want to bring left hand onto the ground, aligning it just underneath the face and straightening out through both legs. So there's your options. More gentle is elbow on the knee, right hand reaching up. Or more intensive, left hand on the ground, both legs straight, right arm still reaching up. Beautiful. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And let's exhale. And coming back to your neutral, straightening through both the legs, whether the elbows are on the legs or hands. And let's come into the other side. Bend through the right knee, elbow on the knee, sweep the left arm up. Excellent. Keep pressing into that left leg. If you want a little more, you can drop that right hand down, straighten through. Beautiful, nice stretch. Feeling that nice twist and rotation through the spine. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, deepen. Beautiful. Let's start to release. Coming back towards your base neutral. Let's bend into both knees. Plant the elbows on the knees. Come up halfway. So head is in line with the heart or just above the heart. And press into the feet. Let the power come from there as you press yourself all the way back up. Let's sweep the arms up. It feels so good. Hands to heart. Excellent. Let's switch. Having the front of the mat now be the back of the mat. So point those right toes forward. Come up onto those left toes into that nice high lunge position. Bending through that right knee. Excellent. Sweep those arms up nice and tall. Pull those low ribs in. And exhale, bow it down. And drop that left knee down on towards your arm. So lowering it down. Coming back into that nice low lunge position. And adjusting the distance between the left knee, right foot. Starting to come into that lunge and pushing the hips forward so that the hips are past that back knee and getting more into that nice quad stretch. Right knee can be in line with the foot and with the ankle. So try to get that nice 90 degrees there. Or if you want to keep it more gentle, you absolutely can. Beautiful. Feeling a nice good stretch. Just keep rolling right hip back, left hip forward. Beautiful. Let's start to press on up. Maybe you come up, forearms or elbow on the knee. Or let's sweep things all the way up. Reaching up, push those hips forward. Sensing into the glutes, into the quads, maybe into that right hamstring. Exhale, lower down. Sweep those arms all the way back. Really reach back behind you if you want. You can add a little bind in. It feels real nice on the shoulders. Let's inhale, sweep it up. Reach nice and tall. Exhale, bow it down. Reach on back. Let's take one more inhale, reach up. Exhale. Reach on back. Beautiful. Drop the hands down. Take a little moment to enjoy the little lunge. And getting into those hips, let it feel really nice. Really good. Excellent. So good. Oh, so good. Beautiful. And let's come back to something a little more neutral. And giving that quad a little bit of a break. Excellent. And let's tuck those left toes under. Lifting that left leg up, nice and strong. Maybe you hop it a little bit closer. Always seem to need to adjust. And let's see if you can just simply step right into a forward fold. So stepping that left foot towards what would be the bottom of your mat. Dangling down. Let the head and the body hang heavy. You can bend the knees here. Knees are made to be bendy. Notice our whole purpose is to be that hinge joint between the femur and the shins. That helps release the low back a little more. And if you want to get into those hamstrings a little more, that's when you keep the legs a little bit straighter but not hyperextending through the knee. Lift those kneecaps, stabilize those knees. Excellent. Inhale, halfway lift. Planting the hands just above the knees, roll those shoulders back and down. Bend the knees, sink the hips, press all the way up to standing. Sweep those arms up, reach up nice and tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. From here, let's bring the stance a little bit wider, or significantly wider, as we get ready to come into our garland pose. So I will just twist over at an angle here. Let's inhale, sweep those arms up, reaching up nice and tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Bend the knees, sink the hips with a nice flat back as if you were sliding your back down a wall. Start to come down into either that chair pose, and then keep journeying if you're able to. All the way down. You can adjust the feet as you need to. Maybe make it a little toe stand. If you really hate the garland pose, you're welcome to come into the toes. Lifting the heels up off the ground. Or trying to keep the heels planted down. Lengthen through the spine. Beautiful. So take a little moment to make sure the shoulders are so far away from the ears. There's tons of length and space happening there. Take an inhale. Make space. Exhale. Sink a little deeper. Beautiful. Let's play around with the hands a little bit. You can bring the elbows to the insides of the knees. Adding that extra bit of tension into the insides of the legs. Beautiful. Maybe we play around, bringing the hands touching down onto the ground. If at any point here you want to grab a block to sit on, that'll take some pressure out of the knees, out of the ankles. Excellent. Now here, if you really want to go for it and play around, that you can go into a crow position should you want a little balance, a little hand balance work today, but I'm not going to specifically teach that right now. Beautiful. I'm going to work on some strengthening of the feet. So I'm actually going to bring my hands up off the ground and I'm going to release my arms, trying to bring my hands back behind me, interlacing, lifting the heart, still pressing firm into those feet, feeling that oh so strong. Beautiful. And release, come on back. I have the elbows now on the knees. I'm going to try to tuck my hands inside that little crevice that happens and kind of alongside the belly. So now the shoulders are falling inwards, feeling a nice little stretch through the shoulders. Still trying to lengthen through the spine though, so I'm not collapsing through that. I'm just getting some internal rotation through the shoulders. Excellent. Release. Bring those hands back, reaching forward, feeling that openness. And that happens. And then from here, let's simply just sit back down onto our mats and roll onto our backs into a nice reclined position. So coming down, rolling back, taking your time, feeling the hips release. Excellent. Roll those shoulders back and down. Knees bent, feet planted. Starting to connect in with the breath. Let it feel really good. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, soften. Excellent. Hands can be alongside the body or up head, however you really want to lay. It's totally up to you. What do your shoulders need? Excellent. As you guys big inhale, create some space. Exhale. A little tuck of the pelvis, start to engage through the glutes, pull the belly button in towards the spine. And on the next exhale, so keeping all that nice engagement, start to press into the feet, activating, lifting the hips up off the ground. Nice little bridge pose. Maybe even roll those shoulders back and down, coming a little higher up on those shoulder blades. Letting the knees fall in line with the hips and the feet. So if you need to adjust your feet at all, go ahead and do so. Feeling this nice little back bend. If you want a little more from it, you can interlace the hands underneath the sits bones and actively pull the hands down towards the feet. Notice how that creates space through the collarbone, through that heart center. Letting it feel really good. Maybe the hips come up a little bit higher. Finding that nice point. Keep connecting in with the breath. And let's exhale, release the hands and roll down nice and slowly. Take your time, one vertebrae at a time, lowering down bit by bit, having that entirety of the spine connecting with the mat. Excellent. Soften. Let it feel really nice. Really good. Let's hug the knees in towards the chest. Giving them a nice big squeeze. Take a gentle rock from side to side. So good. Nice little massage on the low back. Great counter pose. To the bridge pose, to that back bend. You can really feel that low back pressing in towards the mat. Feels nice, feels good. Beautiful. All right, let's bring our attention onto our left leg. So set the right leg nice and long, or just press the foot in towards the mat. So whether you want to hang out here, that's a great option. Or set it nice and long, hug that left knee in towards the body. Keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. Start to feel the stretch on that left hip. If you're not feeling anything, then maybe you need to send that right foot a little bit farther down. Connecting in with the breath and in with the body. Starting to sense into that stillness, into that restfulness. If the mind starts to get really busy and active here, if you're used to all of that go, 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 that's okay. That's normal for your mind to want to start to distract you. But imagine those thoughts as big puffy clouds just out in the abyss of your mind. Well, just watch them float on by. So not necessarily interacting with them. Just like, oh, okay, I see you. But I'm not going to engage and let this thing go deeper. I'll come back to you later. This is my time for a little stillness. Maybe focusing on the breath, noticing the inhales, the exhales. Maybe you add a little count to the length of the breath. How long does it actually take you to take a nice big inhale? Let's find some openness through this left leg. So start to let the left leg start to fall open. Maybe you want to connect that foot down to the earth or the ground. Keep pushing that right hip down. So find that sweet spot that works really good for you. Maybe your hand comes on top of the knee. Just adding a little weight, adding a little gravity pressure as the gravity naturally pulls down on the leg for a little openness. Keep coming back to that breath. Keep noticing the body. Try to embrace a little bit of stillness. Do you actually need to fidget and move? Or can the only thing that moves be the lungs, the diaphragm, the heart? Holding here, having a bit of stillness. And as the body starts to adjust and deepen and the muscles start to let go, there's two things that can happen. The first one is you notice that you started off a little bit too strong. It's starting to become a little painful. There, I very much encourage you to ease off. Listen to your body. Listen to a little whisper of, hey, this is too much. Don't let your ego get in the way. And ease off and adjust. The other thing is maybe as you start to release that tension and deepen, you notice that where you started is a little bit too easy. So your option is to simply stay there and let the muscles deepen. You don't necessarily have to feel it. You don't have to chase that sensation, that stretch feeling in every single pose, posture, and movement.
You can just let it simply be and try to notice the subtleties of it. Or you can always deepen it, adjusting it to be a little harder. So maybe bring that knee up a little higher towards the body. Maybe you start to let it melt more into the ground a little bit more. Feeling that nice connection. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Keep the face relaxed. Holding here for a couple more rounds of breath. Letting any adjustments or movements you might have taken start to settle in. So good. And from here, bring your right hand onto your right hip, more so towards the top of it, to really help anchor it down. So just some awareness if that leg or that hip starts to shimmy or move. And then bring your left hand to your knee. Maybe you're holding it up and start to extend that left foot, trying to make a nice straight line with that leg. So if that's really easy with you holding onto the knee and your right hip didn't float up at all, maybe you want to deepen it, reaching for the great toe. So grabbing your peace fingers, give yourself a nice peace sign. Reaching for the toe and then extending that foot and that leg. Keep pushing that right hip down in towards the mat. It's kind of my max for today, but if you're able to extend nice and long, you're more than welcome to. So whether you're holding the knee or the toes, just get that extra bit of stretch in at the end here. Focus in on that right hip, really rooting down, really planting. So using lots of that right side body as you extend and open, and then bend through the knee and bring that knee back in. Maybe you give it a nice hug and squeeze. I always like to give it a big hug, be like, good job. And then that switch coming into the other side. So whether you send that left foot down onto the mat or send it long, doesn't matter. But start to hug that right knee in towards the body. Excellent. Start to feel that softness, that settling. Roll those shoulders back and down. Keep just enough tension through the arms to keep that leg in place and keep that chin nice and tucked. It's very normal as we're laying on our back here and focusing on our legs for our head and our gaze. Slowly go farther and farther back. Chin is now up in the air, but let's bring that back down again. Keep the gaze going up towards the ceiling, even if your eyes are closed. Adjusting and deepening the pose as you need to. So maybe that left foot goes nice and long. Maybe that right knee hugs in a little deeper. Notice, are you squeezing any tension on that right side? And can you start to let it go? Let those hip flexors be nice and soft. Let the glutes be nice and soft. No tension. The arms are just holding the leg in place. And everything else just melts away. Beautiful. So good. Connecting in here. Noticing the stillness within the body, within the mind. Maybe you remember that intention you set at the beginning of class, letting that be your focal point. Focusing in on the breath. Where are you breathing? And breathing into the abdomen or into the lungs. Or a little of each. Alright, let's start to open up that right leg, letting the leg fall open. Left hand can go alongside the body. And feeling that openness. I'm going to switch my hands on top of the leg. Still holding on. Just a little bit of difference, a little bit of different position on the shoulder. Adding a little gravity, a little weight. So gravity, just a little more. Trying to keep that left hip nice and connected. That low back isn't holding tension. And see if you can take 5 to 7 Nice, long, slow breaths. If there's chaos or commotion happening around you, that's okay. It's allowed to be there. It's allowed to exist. Don't let it upset you. Just start to be present on your mat and focus in on what you want to focus. There'll always be distractions in our world. And this is where we practice our sense of focus, our sense of ease and restoration, despite what's happening around us. And taking a little moment, maybe you need to adjust this pose, maybe making it a little harder or a little bit more gentle. Listening to your body and taking what you need there. Holding for a few more rounds of breath to let any adjustments you might have made settle in. Beautiful. Now starting to bring that hand underneath the knee. Starting to float that leg up if you had it resting down on the ground at all. And then working at extending that foot nice and long. Trying to make a nice straight line. So even if it's really close to the body, this still counts, this still works. Maybe you're just simply holding on to the hip. Let's bring that left hand onto the hip so you can bring that awareness, because the higher up the leg goes, odds are the more you're going to want to roll onto that right side. Got a nice wall I can kick into. That's some great feedback. That feels really nice. So keep that left hip pushing down, left low back, trying not to roll on to that right side as you extend and reach nice and long. If you want a little more, maybe bend the knee, give yourself a little peace sign, reach for the big toes, and extend the leg that way. Trying to find that length. Trying to find that nice big stretch. Keep holding just a few more moments here. Let it feel really good. Try not to squeeze that left glute. Still trying to find that softness. Beautiful. Let's bring it back in towards the body. And give that right knee a nice big squeeze. Oh, I just so love this. Feels so good. Beautiful. And then let's journey this one into a twist. So bring that left leg across the body, rolling onto, bring that right leg across the body, rolling onto that left hip. Right arm reaches towards the right, keeping that right shoulder plant down, twisting, feeling that rotation through the spine. Knees can go left to keep this more gentle. You can go at neutral. Have that nice and medium, or can go towards the right to add some more intensity, add a little more depth into the twist. Option here is right hand on top of, or left hand on top of that right knee. Or you can go for the toes again. Trying not to kick your little puppy dog. Hey, Schmucko. I love you. Beautiful. Letting it feel really good. If you have the toes, I'm probably feeling that a little more through that right leg, maybe through the knee, maybe through the hip. Let it still be nice rotation through the spine. Keep trying to press that right shoulder down in towards the left. Connected. Take a nice big inhale. See if you lengthen the spine, and exhale, soften. I'm gonna release my toes, bring my hand back down onto my knee just so I can really twist it. Gaze goes back up towards neutral. And start to bring that right leg back up, rolling onto your back. If you want, give it one more nice big squeeze, it'll extend it nice and long. So both arms extend long. Reach those arms up overhead. Both legs extend long. Nice big good morning stretch. Really reach nice and tall. Feel that arch through the spine. Lifting up off the mat. Maybe even point through the toes. Feel all of that length. So good. Let's bring that left knee back in. I wanted to open up both hips before we got into our twist. So the left knee comes in, roll the shoulders back and down, hold on to the left leg with the right hand. Left arm opens up and start to roll onto that right side. And coming into a nice twist. Keep that left shoulder blade planted in. Your left foot might plant down. Your knee can be trying to touch down towards the ground or up towards the ceiling. Maybe you reach for those toes. Feeling that nice rotation through the spine. Maybe through that IT band or through the hip. Keep trying to soften. Maybe the gaze goes towards the left to add some more intensity, more depth into the twist. Let it feel nice, let it feel good. So good. Beautiful. Let's take a nice big inhale. See if you can lengthen. Exhale. See if you can soften. Let's bring the head back towards neutral, so we're not twisting oddly through the spine as we start to release. Bringing that left knee back up, rolling back onto your back. And give that knee a nice little hug in. And send the feet nice and long. Reach those arms up overhead. Take another big giant stretch. Let's come into our boss arms, interlacing the hands, tucking them underneath the head, letting the elbows fall open. You want, you can mirror that with the feet, bring the soles of the feet to touch. Knees drawing down towards the ground. Nice external rotation through the hips. And start to notice that low back. Is it really arching? Can you take a little moment pressing that low back in towards the earth, towards your mat? So you got nice openness through the shoulders, trying to get both arms touching down onto the ground. If you've got one floating up, that's okay. It might just be how your shoulder is today. Maybe it's in tight muscles, or it might even be how your bone is shaped. You can always add a little pillow underneath if it's uncomfortable, letting gravity weigh down on that shoulder or that arm. So finding your comfort level and you want to explore in. Starting to let go of that tension through the inner thighs. Feet can be up close towards the sits bones or nice and long, far away, whatever feels better for your legs. The farther away the feet are, good chance, the closer the knees will be towards the ground. So maybe that feels better today. If you've always done this reclined cobbler the exact same way, try playing around with it. I'm slowly inchworming my feet farther away from my sits bones. But I'm totally noticing different pull in different areas of those hips. Feels neat, feels good. So you gotta play around a little bit. You gotta find the movement that works for you. And let's come back to that breath. This is a great position to try to come into that diaphragmatic breath, where we just breathe into the abdomen, trying not to breathe moving the ribs, and just letting the belly expand and rise and fall, come back in. You can really notice your breath into the low back here, because there is a bit of an arch that kind of naturally happens there. But on that inhale, you're trying to really press that low back in by breathing into that area, getting rid of that arch completely, and then that exhale, letting it be just through the belly. So if you want, you can even bring a hand or both hands onto the ribs, trying to bring that awareness into the abdomen. I'm going to go ahead and do so. If you're enjoying the shoulder stretch, of course, the arms nice and open. We'll take those 5 to 7 nice slow breaths. It's about a minute and a half-ish, depending on how quick or slow you breathe. Beautiful. And starting to release the hands wherever they might be. Bringing them down towards the hips. Tuck them just under the legs. And with helping hands, so press into your hands and to bring the knees back up together. Excellent. Just windshield wiper the legs, dropping knees or legs from side to side. Releasing through the hips, releasing through the low back. Let it feel good. Oh, so nice. Excellent. Finishing off by resetting the spine, having a little freestyle as well. So find your stillness and hug the knees in towards the chest. Maybe you simply just hang up here, or maybe you reach on through for the feet. Sending the feet up towards the ceiling, knees draw in towards the body. Take a little rock from side to side. Keep that chin nice and tucked. Enjoy the little happy baby. And then from here, if there's any other pose or movement you want to explore or play around with before you get into your final Shavasana, and take some time, explore that movement. Maybe it feels really good. Maybe a little waterfall pose. Feet go up towards the ceiling. Nice little hamstring stretch. You're going to rock it from side to side. I don't know what you need. There's all sorts of things, but it's good to play around, explore a little creativity, find what works really good for you, and then as you're ready, settling into your Shavasana, connecting with your breath. Excellent. I'm liking this wide feet windshield wiper. Because as my legs fall to one side, I've got internal rotation happening on the one side, external on the other side. That feels really good. This internal rotation just feels really quite delightful. There's a nice little stretch on the quad. Bringing it back the other way. It's also referred to as deer legs in Indian or in yoga. It's really fun to do seated. But yeah, play around. What does your body need? Or maybe you just want to start to scan through the body. Maybe you notice little areas of openness or tension. Noticing the good with the bad. If you just focus on the negative all the time, you'll tend to live in more of a depression. If you just focus on all the positive all the time, you might not be seeing the truth. Truth can be really harsh. And when confronted with the truth, you might have a very negative reaction to it. So a little of both is very important. You gotta have some optimism. You gotta find the hope. You gotta find the joy in life. It's there. It's all around you. But you've also got to stay grounded and connected. Noticing those shadows. Noticing the darkness. That might exist as well. So with that, I will leave you to settle into your own Shavasana. Thank you oh so very much for joining me for our extra gentle yoga practice time this morning. It's always a pleasure to get to share what I love with other people. And so I encourage you to try to slot in a couple more. They don't have to be mine, but if you can just include yoga in your life, you'll see so many benefits. It's really cool. I really love it. So thank you so much. And I hope that the rest of your day is filled with moments of joy. And I pray that you are always blessed.
So thank you and namaste. We'll see you next time. Bye. Cool. So good.